So, my friend, I want to ask you, have you been listening to some of my podcasts for a while and identified for yourself all the areas that you feel your business could be better in? Maybe you just are so busy you haven't yet mastered the working as much as you like bit. Or maybe you're just not bringing in the money, like you're struggling with the income, or it's just not enough. Well, it's time for us to have a conversation. In the show notes, there is a link to my evolution call. If you're a dance boss and you are ready to take action, let's have a chat and let's see where I can take you. Welcome, lovelies, to the Ultimate Dance Business Podcast. My name is Deborah Laws, the dance business expert. My passion is to help you turn your passion into profit while guiding you to work less and earn more. I'm super excited to share interviews with you that I know will inspire and motivate you in your schools, as well as my solo shows where I shall be sharing some great tips and strategies. So if you love the show, please do remember to review, subscribe, and share it with your fellow dance boss friends. So let's get stuck into the business of dance. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me on the Ultimate Dance Business Podcast. We're going to talk now a little bit today, just briefly, about trial bookings at the start of your academic year. I was going to say in September, but I know a lot of people listen to this podcast from different places in the world, and maybe September isn't the start of your new academic year. So whenever that is for you, we're going to talk about getting trials booked in. Now, I've just come off the back of a lovely call with my membership inside Dance Business Lab, and I asked everybody what the number of trials is that they normally would expect. What's an average kind of start of their new year? What does that look like? And obviously, different people have very different size schools. For some, it was just 3 or 4. For others, it was 40 or 50. And so, it didn't really matter what the number was. And I've set them a challenge of doubling the number of trials this September. I said, I want you to come to our September membership call and say to me, oh my gosh, Deborah, I normally have about 20 trials and this year I've had 44. Like, I wanted to really push people beyond, oh, okay, I've just got to work a little bit harder and do a bit more, into actually really rethinking all their strategies around attracting students. And I think this would be a great thing for you to have a little think about too, because when we go at something like getting new students through the door with the same level of energy that we normally do, we are going to get the same normal results. When you suddenly go at it with an intensity, maybe it's because someone like me has set you a challenge. Maybe it's because your landlord has upped your rent by £1,000 and you have got to find a way of bringing in the extra income. Maybe you want to get your own building and you know that you've set yourself a goal of an extra 100 students next year so that you can afford to have your own studio in the future. Like, give yourself an intensity without adding too much pressure and stress, but give yourself a purpose and a reason. Because if you really, really, really needed to double your trials, you could. Like, you would put enough energy and enough different methods and enough time into it so you did that. So let's look at what you do normally. What are the normal things that you do? Are you one of these people that closes the studio door at the end of term and you go, oh my gosh, thank goodness for that. I can take a break and spend time with my family. I can step out of the studio and not even think about it for a few weeks. And I need that. And therefore, I am that person that gets to the end of the break, maybe a week, 2 weeks, 10 days before, and you go, oh gosh, right, I've got to start thinking about the fact that we go back soon. and I guess I ought to do a bit of marketing. And then you frantically start putting things on Facebook, running some Facebook ads, trying to get some flyers out. Like you do a kind of a last minute mad dash to get a few more kids in the door. Or perhaps actually you don't do anything at all. Perhaps you just wait for people to come. Perhaps you just rely on your word of mouth and your reputation for new students to contact you. But maybe you actually have a plan. Maybe you have a strategy, you have a plan, you have a whole bunch of different types of marketing that you do throughout the summer. Maybe you don't do it. Maybe you have somebody else that does this for you, but it is well thought through and it's consistent. And you've been doing it for the last couple of years. So you kind of rinse and repeat this system. And every year you look at the results from last year and you think, right, that worked quite well. That was an absolute flop. That was okay. That was brilliant. That brought us in the most number of inquiries. So we're going to do a whole load more of that. We're going to not bother doing that one. And we're going to up the amount of money we spend on our ads because that was the best form of marketing. Like, do you actually sit and plan it, measure it, and then tweak it the following year? Just going to say that again. Do you plan it? Do you then measure it at the end of the campaign, if you like? And then do you use that information to tweak it the following year? And I mean in terms of doing more of the things that worked, doing less of the things that weren't quite so good, and trying other things so that we're constantly testing our marketing. I am just going to pause here for a second because I just want to check that you know all about my new software, Dance Business Solutions. And if you don't, then I would love to show it to you. You can book a demo where I will show you around the magic that I have created in Dance Business Solutions, and you can see just what it will do for your business. So from websites to selling events to managing your customers, managing your inquiries, creating surveys, planning your social media, like it does a gazillion things. And they're all very exciting because I have pre-built most of it for you already using my wisdom and expertise as a dance business coach. So go to dancebusinesssolutions.com as soon as you finish listening to my podcast and click on book a demo. And I cannot wait for one of my team to show you around. The thing with marketing is we don't know what's going to work. We don't know how successful it's going to be. And we don't know from one attempt to the next, because you could try something that doesn't work this time, but the next time you do it, it brings you in 5 inquiries. There is no rhyme or reason behind marketing. It's a constant test procedure. You have to try something. You have to throw some mud at the wall and see what sticks this time. But you then kind of have to throw the same mud at the same wall the next time because you could get completely different results. It's the most infuriating business to be in. I could never be I'm going to say I could never be in a marketing agency or be a marketer, but of course I am a marketer. I'm marketing my own business all the time. So are you. Like it or not, you're in sales and marketing. No, what I mean is an actual company that's paid to do this. I don't think I could do that because it's so frustrating. Like even Facebook ads, it can be brilliant one week and horrendous the next. So I think you have to be prepared to test things and keep testing them. And so, for example, if you've got flyers that are going out, have 1,000 flyers printed with this image and then have 1,000 flyers printed with a different image. It can even be the same class and the same day. Try different photos, try different words, try different colors, a different layout. Something is going to work better than something else. And if we don't have versions of the same thing, we can't know whether something is really working or not. I have a lot of people talking about Facebook ads that say to me, Deborah, I tried Facebook ads, it didn't really work, so I've given up. Did you test it? Did you do at least 5 different versions of your ad? Because it could be that the one that you did didn't work. But if you'd actually used a different picture or a different font or different colors or different copy in the body of the text, then it would have worked. We have to split test everything. And so when it comes to your marketing, leading up to the start of the new academic year and the number of trials that you get booked in, I would say 100% the amount of effort that you put in is going to be replicated in the amount of trials that you get. So if you're a last minute mini, if you don't really do anything, if you just do, I don't know, a couple of posts, a couple of hours, then we have to be happy with the fact that we only get a couple of inquiries. If you have spent 5 hours a week doing a great big marketing campaign and you've thought it and you've planned it and it's consistent, you've got 20 different types of marketing and a budget and all of those things, and then you get 40 trials, that's a direct result of the fact that you put all that time and effort in. And it's your choice, my darling. It's completely your choice. You want to take the whole break off, not think about your business until the day before you go back. You absolutely do that. You have the choice to do that. If you want to consciously build your school and have great number of new kids joining you in September, and it to feel different, to fill those empty spaces, to be having a much healthier bank balance, then we need to be prepared to do the hard slog over the break to bring in those kind of results. And that's a choice that you have also. So let's have a little think about September. What would I really love versus what am I prepared to put in? What effort am I prepared to put in? If you are in my membership, I would say go into our vaults of previous trainings that are all sat there waiting for you. There are trainings on creating this whole campaign leading up to September. How much effort you put into that campaign is, as I said, is your choice. It's down to you. But if you want to go for it, you want to have to double your trials, like my ladies and gents have just challenged. We've put a challenge out. They're going to have double the number of trials they normally have. They know they've got to now go away and put the work in. So make those decisions, make that choice. And if you are not in my membership and you're thinking, gosh, I could really do with help on knowing what to do and how to do it, then come find me, come chat to me. You can find me on Facebook, Deborah Laws. You can find me on my website, dancebusinesslab.com. We can have a chat really soon about your investment in a coach like myself. And let's see if we can get you the help that you need. And if not, best of luck. Maybe set yourself a challenge. Why don't you see if you can set yourself a challenge to double the normal number of trials? And like I said to my members today, if you don't double, if you don't complete the challenge, I guarantee you'll have a few more than you would have had because you're going at it with a different energy and a different goal. All right, my loves. I hope that has given you just a little bit of inspiration, just a short one today. And don't be afraid to share. Come find me in my Facebook group and tell me how it went. All right, take care.